The Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to arrive in early next year, bringing a suite of upgrades over its predecessor. While many of the leaks and reports surrounding the device remain unofficial, several consistent themes have emerged, outlining where Samsung is focusing its biggest upgrades. The improvements appear to center around charging speed, display, camera refinements, and overall processing power, with subtle adjustments in design and efficiency. Let's dive right in. One of the more persistent rumors is that the Galaxy S26 Ultra is finally moving from Samsung's long-standing 45-watt charging standard to a much faster 60-watt system. The current Galaxy S25 Ultra supports 45-watt wired charging, which is decent but not exactly cutting-edge compared to what other manufacturers offer. Months ago, the idea of 60-watt charging for the S26 Ultra surfaced, only for it to be contradicted by other leaks, suggesting Samsung might retain the same speed for safety and battery longevity reasons. Now, that 60-watt rumor has resurfaced, supported by credible insiders like Ice Universe. If true, the S26 Ultra would be able to fill its battery significantly faster, closing the gap with competitors such as Xiaomi, OnePlus, and even some Chinese mid-range devices that already deliver crazy fast charging speed. There are also indications that the S26 Ultra might finally adopt Qi 2.2 wireless charging, which would not only improve the speed of wireless charging, but could also introduce a built-in magnetic alignment for accessories, similar to Apple's MagSafe system. The battery capacity itself is expected to remain at 5,000 mAh, the same as in the S25 Ultra, but overall endurance could improve thanks to the more efficient display, more about that in a second, a much larger vapor chamber, software optimization, and a much power-efficient chipset. With better thermal management materials and improved energy efficiency, you can expect better screen-on times compared to the previous model. The display of the Galaxy S26 Ultra is another area where Samsung appears ready to make a notable leap forward. Samsung is equipping the next Ultra with its latest M14 OLED technology, a major step up from the M13 panels used in current flagship models. The M14 material promises to deliver higher brightness, greater energy efficiency, and a longer lifespan, all while reducing power consumption. This will make the screen not only more vivid, but also more battery-friendly. Alongside the M14 upgrade, the S26 Ultra is said to employ color filter on encapsulation, or COE for short, a technology that allows the color filter to be integrated directly into the OLED's protective layer. This design reduces the number of layers in the display, leading to a thinner panel with higher light transmittance and improved brightness. It also minimizes reflections and enhances outdoor visibility, which would make the S26 Ultra's screen one of the clearest and most efficient OLED panels on the market. One particularly interesting addition being reported is a private display feature. This feature would use hardware-level control to reduce viewing angles or dim specific areas of the screen when personal apps are open, effectively preventing people nearby from peeking at sensitive content. It's not just a software-based privacy mode, but an integrated hardware mechanism, meaning the function could remain exclusive to the Ultra model. Combined with the M14 panel and COE tech, the result would be a display that is not only visually superior, but also smarter in how it adapts to real-world usage. In terms of size and structure, the display is expected to stay around 6.9 inches, with a QHD Plus resolution and a 144Hz adaptive refresh rate. Renders suggest slightly softer corners and a marginally thinner frame, continuing Samsung's trend toward a more refined, less boxy look. As expected, the camera system is once again a central focus of the Galaxy S26 Ultra's development. While the overall configuration is likely to remain similar to its predecessor, with 4 rear cameras, including a 200-megapixel main sensor, a 50-megapixel ultra-wide lens, and 2 telephoto cameras for 3x and 5x zoom, there are meaningful upgrades in the details. The primary 200-megapixel sensor is rumored to receive a wider f1.4 aperture compared to f1.7 on the S25 Ultra. This change allows roughly 47% more light to hit the sensor, improving low-light photography and enhancing depth and color accuracy. It's also speculated that Samsung may employ an updated ISOCELL HP5 sensor for this camera, featuring improved noise control and better isolation between pixels. The 3x telephoto lens might see a resolution bump from 10 to 12 megapixels, which would offer slightly more detail at mid-range zoom levels, though some reports warn that Samsung may instead use a smaller cropped output that could compromise low-light performance. On the other hand, the 5x periscope camera is said to get a wider f2.9 aperture, up from f3.4 on the S25 Ultra, increasing light intake by around 38%. This improvement should help produce brighter, sharper zoom shots, especially in darker environments. The ultra-wide camera is expected to stay at 50 megapixels, potentially with refined distortion correction and better low-light results. For video, Samsung is expected to introduce an advanced professional video codec, allowing higher quality footage with better compression efficiency. Paired with enhanced AI processing, improved autofocus and more advanced stabilization, the camera experience overall should feel faster, clearer and more reliable. Under the hood, performance will be driven by Qualcomm's new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, or at least in major markets like the US and China. This chipset, based on a 3nm process, brings notable improvements in both performance and efficiency. The 8-core CPU features a third-generation Orion cores, 2 big ones and 6 medium. The big cores can reach new heights in terms of smartphone clock speed, going up to 4.61 GHz. Overall, the CPU is expected to deliver a 20% performance improvement compared to the previous generation. The new CPU is 35% more power efficient, which in turn makes the whole chipset 16% more efficient. The GPU also offers major gains over the previous generation, while the AI engine sees the most substantial jump in capability, enabling faster and more complex on-device processing for things like real-time photo enhancement, voice recognition, and contextual app behavior. The Gen 5 platform also brings upgrades to the ISP, which will directly benefit image and video capture quality by providing better HDR handling and noise management. In memory and storage, the phone will feature 16 GB of DDR5X RAM as standard across multiple storage options from 256 GB up to 1 TB of UFS 4.1. The S Pen will remain a staple feature of the Ultra, integrated directly into the chassis, and may receive minor responsiveness or latency refinements to make writing and sketching smoother, and will see a slight redesign to make up for the more rounder corner of the phone. In terms of software, the Galaxy S26 Ultra will launch with Android 16 running One UI 8.5, offering 7 years of updates as part of Samsung's extended support policy. The software experience will continue integrating Galaxy AI features, offering better contextual awareness, text summarization, and smart translation tools. From a design standpoint, Samsung appears to be subtly refining rather than reinventing. The S26 Ultra will have a unified camera island instead of the separate floating lenses used previously, creating a cleaner and more cohesive appearance. The corners may be slightly rounded to make the device more comfortable to hold, while the overall thickness will see a notable reduction to 7.9mm compared to 8.2mm on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. With that said, we're still several months away from the official launch, which means plenty could still change as development wraps up and more concrete leaks begin to surface. But for now, let me know your thoughts on these changes down in the comments. Do they sound like meaningful improvements to you or just incremental refinements? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming updates. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.